Hello, hello again. So I was talking about dealing with identity panic. Maybe some people will call it identity crisis, and I don't know. I just think it's something. It might be identity crisis, but I think it's just those days you just wake up and you just feel like um, you don't know you don't like is this what life is going to be like? Is this how you're going to keep doing life? Is this how everything is going to continue? And you just keep looking at yourself like that, like you're not in a state of gratitude, you're not in a state of recognizing where you have been through, what you have been through, and acknowledging the strength that brought you thus far, right? And you're just not in that state where you're like, I want more. Yes, you want more, but I guess that part of you that always wanted more out of life, that always wanted to have more, that was always wanted to do more, just comes to the surface at that point in time and suppresses everything that you all that the knowledge of what you do have. At that point in time you forget, you don't seem to remember, like you're just in a state of confusion, you know um let me not say you per se, but people can just wake up and just be in a state of confusion. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're just panicky. They doubt themselves. The things that they believe they know about themselves, they feel like it's a lie. Like what is it that I am doing that is commensurate to what I believe about myself? And they just become extremely pessimistic about who they are and what they are. And sometimes it just comes in the morning, like you just wake up and you're like, what am I going to do with myself and all? I would say, as somebody who is a Christian, that is an attack on your personality, is an attack. um what I would recommend, um from a spiritual point of view, is that you should listen to songs that are uplifting, mostly Christian songs, gospel songs. Just listen to that, like acknowledging that there is, reminding yourself of who God is reminds you of who you are gradually. And so just soak yourself, just listen. The Bible says faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God. And so when you begin to hear about this great God, this kind God, this God that made you, and He was intentional about making you and all of that, then you begin to remember who you are. And then your mind begins to settle and your mind begins to settle. Now, it might take a whole day, but you will get there. Now, if you're somebody who's like, I don't believe in all those religious stuff and all of that, well, what about gratitude? Do you also not believe in gratitude? Be grateful. You're alive. You have a chance to redo whatever you think is wrong with your life at that moment. And of course, at that moment, like I said, is identity um, panic. So you don't even believe that you can do anything for yourself at that point in time. Like you just don't believe it. You don't think that, you know, you've lost hope. Your hope is down in your thoughts at that time. Like you just don't feel hopeful at all, you know um and because you don't feel hopeful, you begin to think a lot of things. It just goes round and round and round in your head, like, and pessimistic talks come in, like, oh, you know about how, you're going to, this is just how things are going to be. Negative thoughts, where you begin to think about, oh no, if you've come this far, and it's not happening, chances are it would not. And you begin to think that. So you are not even thinking about your abilities at that point in time. So don't focus on yourself, you know, because you have gotten to the end of yourself at that moment, and you know who you are, even as you look back, is blurry. You can only see through the lens of um the negatives. Like the positives just doesn't come to mind or doesn't matter at that point in time. And so you have to go outside of yourself, call somebody, go on social media and interact with people, call someone, and just talk to them, try to solve someone's problem. Okay, you look at yourself and be like, you know what, I may not be able to figure out what is up with me right now, but at least let me figure out, let me help someone, even if it's just to listen, even if it's just to talk to them, you know. And I mean, if you even do that consistently, where you're always helping someone out, where you're always doing something for other outside of yourself. And see, it's very important that you have validation outside of yourself as well, because self is not always reliable, because it's like, you know, look at your tank. What feeds water into your house? It's coming from somewhere, right? It's coming from somewhere. It's not just that you open a tap and water just comes out. No. Like there is a process to that. Same way, it's not so practical all the time that you feel that whatever validation I need, I can give myself that. Yes, well, that's what I'm saying right now. Identity panic and attack. Identity, I don't want to say crisis, because to say crisis might mean that it goes extended. Like it's just where you look at your life and you just feel, you know, um, so discouraged. You feel so discouraged and panic begins to set in, like, so what am I going to do? I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to start from. And all the negatives just keep popping up, and they just keep popping up. And before you can even finish sorting that out, another negative comes, and they're true. That's the bad, the not so good side of it. They're true. But all the positives that are true about you is not coming to mind at that point in time. And even when they come, they're just like, yeah, but that does not, you don't even see it as anything. You need to go outside of yourself at that point in time. In fact, change your environment immediately. Change your environment immediately, even if it means going to another room. Okay, even if it means going to another room. Go and read someone's biography that is funny, not the person, that is funny. Okay, because there are biographies out there. Go and read someone's free there are free autobiographies on very legit sites. Go and read about that. Go and watch. You have to make sure that you don't do something that would further depress you or further make you feel sad about life. You want to probably watch a romantic comedy, but then you're like, it's just fiction, So you're not in that state where fiction even makes sense to you at that point in time. And so you want to read someone's what they penned down about their life, or you want to watch someone's biography or autobiography or things like that, so read. Maybe you want to read something, go to another room, um take a shower. A lot of times it's stress that causes it. Sometimes stress. um Try to nap, so as you're reading, just try to rest your mind, so it takes your mind away from you onto something else, right? Don't try to do anything for yourself except maybe take your bath, eat, although you probably will not feel hungry, but force yourself to. Um, and then, go and read that autobiography, go and read that biography, right? Um, if you're a Christian or you're somebody that likes the Bible, or you think the Bible is a good idea, that is also something to read. Read the Bible, or listen to the Bible. You can actually listen to it. You might not feel like reading, just listen. And, you might just sleep off at that point in time. And I'm almost sure that by the time you wake up, it might not, that feeling might not completely go away, but it will have dissipated. It will have reduced drastically. It will have reduced a lot. So it's important that you prepare your mind sometimes for these things, so that when they come, you know how to handle them properly. Okay. Another thing you can do is step outside of the house. Like I said, change your environment. But if for whatever reason you can't leave the house, move to another room, or move to the balcony, or move downstairs, or I don't know, go to a place where you can actually see the sky. There's something about staring at the sky that just makes you feel a kind of awe, right? It makes you feel a kind of awe. So like, uh gaze gaze at the sky. Maybe sit at the balcony, gaze at the sky while you are listening to someone's biography or autobiography that is actually funny. Maybe a mother trying to narrate stories about how she raised her children, that sort of thing, like something that has continuity to it, right? It might be something about a father and how he's handled his family. It has to be family oriented, something that has to do not just with the person, but someone relating, talking about their life as it relates to other people that are related to them. Now, reading that or listening to that will sort of center you, make you feel like you're in the midst of all of that, all of that amazing chaos, and it will make you laugh. But if you can step out of the house, you can always go to a park, or go to your favorite place. You can just stroll, just you don't have to even do anything or buy anything, but if you have need of something, you can go to a supermarket and window shop, and maybe get one or two things that you need, right? Depending on how far out you can go, right? So once you do those things, it resets you a bit, and it makes you a little bit tired, and then you can rest. Okay. um If you have access to chocolate, that is also something that you can take. It works with the brain well. But I would say that's about what I think that you can do. It's part of what I do, and I've also gained something else today, because that's why I call that's why I feel very strongly that about calling myself, to the glory of God, a faith-based counselor, because I learned from myself. I begin to talk and I'm like, wow, I didn't think of that before. I'm adding that to what I'm doing, or what I'm doing to manage or to handle the situation I'm in. So it happens to me. It's happened to me like twice that I can think of right now, twice, where I just didn't feel myself at all. I wasn't feeling myself. It was just a not so good feeling. It was not a good feeling at all, where I was just focused, like all the things about myself that are true, um, but are not positive, they became sort of exaggerated, and it was just all that was coming to my mind. And I just had to, like, you know, I just had to, I don't even know what I did, but I think I distracted myself by just going on the phone and just going through one like going through YouTube and checking out several videos, and just you know and me getting outraged about something, makes me feel like, what, if I'm outraged about it, it means I can do something about it. And pray for someone. Okay, pray for someone. Like, that's what I mean. Like, do something outside of yourself. Don't try to focus on yourself, because that will even make it worse. So focus on someone else, pray for someone else. Maybe you can pray for someone else in that same situation. That's as close as you can get. Like, Lord, whoever is going through this right now, whoever is going through what I'm feeling right now, Father, please help them, And as you're praying for them, you're also getting help for yourself as well. And inspiration will come, you know. Um, so all I can say right now in conclusion is guard your hearts with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. And they that know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploits. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind.